Alright, you're probably tired of all those YouTubers trying to sell you these fancy ChatGPT wrappers, but we're going to cut all of that nonsense and I'm going to show you how you can grow your solo business using only the most popular tools like ChatGPT or Gemini. So I'm going to cover 8 unique ways that will help you level up your services, make better products, create more engaging content, and also improve your sales. Let's dive in. So services are probably the most time-consuming of the bunch, or at least they should be if you're keeping the quality high. And you might be skeptical about how can AI possibly help me with my services? Well, what if I told you that there is a way to level up your service, letting you charge higher prices while potentially you doing much less work? It sounds too good to be true, right? But it's possible. Let's take some tutoring online or coaching as an example service. So let's suppose that you have some students that reach out to you and they give you a list of things that they want to have covered. And you can put all of that stuff into a chatbot of your choice and have a script generated for you. So an example prompt would look something like this. My student wants to learn about the basics of Python, variables, functions, if statements, and loops. Write a meeting script and add examples to every point. I did it with my students and it works amazing, especially for basic to intermediate level programming, and it's a bit worse when it comes to math because LLMs are naturally not that good at it yet, and you can easily slap some additional examples of exercises from a book later, right? So based on covered material, you can create additional resources and you're always prepared this way because AI does the job for you. And this not only works for things like tutoring or coaching, but literally for anything that needs some kind of an input from your client. So if you're quick enough, you can even have some content generated on the go and you can send them a follow-up message and you may look like a magician. And over time you create more and more of those resources and you can easily turn them into reusable templates. So if you're a coach, for example, you can have a list of your clients' most popular issues and then have solutions listed out below them. And you can easily turn these things into digital products and have another income stream, or just add them to your service and charge a higher price. So you save a lot of time on research and repetitive tasks. But if you're ever gonna make those digital products, you might as well make them good. So how do you do that? So your products are going to suck if you don't do some research. And the best way to do that is to utilize your audience. So go to Twitter and simply ask, what are your biggest pain points right now that could be solved with some kind of software? And people are creative and they will flood you with endless ideas. I hope so. You can run this on all of your social media channels like YouTube and Instagram, not only Twitter, and then gather all of those comments and go to ChatGPT with them. So you want to type in this prompt. These are the comments of my audience regarding their needs, what issues are the most common and how can they be turned into a product. You can also ask it to quote the most interesting comments so that you have some more human control over it. I hope that now you have a rough idea of where to start. And now we can go on to crafting our offer. And here is where you should avoid any AI-generated content at all costs. Because if I see another elevate your life with this and this and this and unlock your full potential and all of that nonsense that AI produces, then come on, you're not going to make any sale because people notice that language. And you want to be an entrepreneur and write all of those things yourself. And if you don't know how to do that, I recommend a book called $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy. So now that you've got your offer, you have my permission again to use AI to make your product. And if you're doing some kind of coding, then I think you know what to do. Just go to GitHub Copilot, download it, and have some real-time feedback on the go as you're programming. And if you're not, you can do that too, just with the regular ChatGPT. And you can tell it what you're doing right now, your solution for a problem, and it can give you some honest feedback. So a sample prompt would look something like this. What's good and bad about solving task management this way? What could be optimized? It works like a partner that verifies your ideas along the way. This can be truly eye-opening, and I use this to check all of the stuff that I make for my Notion templates, and sometimes I miss so many things that I could have done better that it's stupid really. And if you want, there will be a Notion template with all of those prompts and some more, and I leave a link down to it in the description, so download it. So now we've got our products and services sorted out, but at this point, nobody knows us. So how do we fix that? Well, we make content, with AI of course. But whoa, AI generated content sucks. And we both know it. You click off all the videos that have this AI voice that ChatGPT created, or you scroll off tweets that are blindly copy-pasted from the chatbot, and that sounds unprofessional, and we're not really respecting the other human being on the other side, right? So we want to take a different approach. We want to use AI to help us generate better content ourselves. Let's divide making content into 3 stages. First, the idea. And chat is quite good at those, and you can easily use it to prompt yourself to think about stuff that it produces. So here's a sample prompt. Give me a list of 30 words related to a certain topic. Or I make content around something, and what could be my audience's biggest problems? So that way you are prompted to think about stuff that ChatGPT created for you, and it helps you be more creative. So after an idea comes a draft, and here you can also use AI to finish it. If you've run out of creative power for the day and you have nothing else to cover, you can ask the chatbot to finish the draft for you. And a sample prompt would look something like this. Below is a script about a video on AI for entrepreneurs. I have mentioned 3 examples and add 3 more. Use the same voice and style. You still will have to edit all of that stuff later that it produces, because you can't get everything without the fluff that ChatGPT adds, but still you have a nice base to work on. If you're worried that you will have more work than at the start, well, you might not have to worry anymore, because if you haven't heard, ChatGPT 4.0 has been released, and with it, custom GPTs are now coming to free users, so you might be able to find this certain GPT that is really good at writing. And I used it once and I was honestly quite impressed. It didn't have all of these artificial words, and in the future you might be able to use it and it will finish your drafts perfectly. Alright, sometimes when you make content, everything seems so obvious to you and you feel like you've told everything that you could have. And only then, when you post the video, you notice that there is this thing that you haven't mentioned and that thing that you haven't mentioned, and as a result, your video is too short and not in-depth enough, and your audience doesn't find any value in it. So you can use AI here too to get feedback on your scripts and newsletters or whatever it is. So you could tell ChatGPT something along these lines. You are the audience of this content. What questions do you still have? And as a follow-up, you could also add something like, what topics were not covered, or what could have been explained deeper? And usually the response is really good because the AI has a lot of context to play with, and you can easily make some adjustments based on those questions and feedback that you've got. Once your content is long enough, you can get even more content out of that single piece. And how you do that? Well, you can ask the AI to simply distill all of that information into short form pieces. So go to ChatGPT and tell it this. This is a newsletter about AI, for example. Pick 5 topics from it that could be turned into tweets. And you can do all of sorts of long form, ranging from YouTube scripts and newsletters and threads, and turn them into tweets, reels, or shorts. If you're feeling extra fancy, you can go from long form to even longer form. And I like to turn my YouTube scripts into newsletters because you can pack so much more information into a newsletter. You can add images and links to other articles, for example. And you can do that by using the feedback tactic and the AI finish tactic that I mentioned. And you get much more long form content, and it's more in depth, and you can further nourish your audience. This last part I spend the least amount of time on because I'm more focused on making content and creating products right now. but AI can help you with your sales and marketing too. And I'm not talking about it writing your sales scripts, because they will have that robotic sound and feel that we don't really want, but rather you want it to help you find out what your perfect client is. So you can either have all of these comments from before and put them in here, and you will have a client persona that you can then write the script around. Or if you have a client persona and you don't really know all of their specific needs, you can do that the other way. So a sample prompt would be, my perfect client is a 9-to-5 remote worker, and what are their specific needs? That's for the other part. So now that you know that, you can easily write the script because you know all the biggest pain points and what are the biggest needs. This can be also very useful for marketing, because whatever ad that it is you're making, ChatGPT can help you find the target audience for it. If you analyze all of those examples once again, you will notice a pattern. AI is the best at enhancing our own abilities. And if you still feel overwhelmed by all of this stuff, I encourage you to join my newsletter. It's called The Digital Highway. There is a link in the description below. And if you want to learn more about AI, I encourage you to watch this video right here. And if you like this, leave a like and subscribe. And thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.